Hi, and welcome back to Concilium Watch. I'm Austin.
And I'm Nathan.
Today we are talking about the new Ariadna Sectorial Cosmoflot. And for all you Ariadna players like myself, I'm super stoked. Let's not waste any time. Let's just jump right in.
All right. First unit we got here is the Project 4 Cosmosoldat.
Cosmosoldat, literally translated into space soldier.
Yeah. He definitely looks the part. I could totally see this spacesuit being used today.
No, I definitely could. So what's interesting about this is on the forums they were going through this, and this is so the Ratnik for tech is the number 2. This is number 4. So we're probably not going to see a number 3 for space, but this is an extension. They basically re-upped the Ratnik.
I see.
And this is what you got.
So they
and
made
built
it
them
into
for
a smaller
space.
package.
Much smaller package with all the new technology that they've granted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and look at those loadouts. Oh, right. APHMG, T2 rifle, heavy flamethrower, heavy pistol, knife and shotgun. There's a lot of blue in this sectorial.
Yeah, and they said that blue was going to be the new accent color for Cosmoflot, definitely.
The Cosmosoldat is awesome. I mean,
yeah, he looks sick.
You just go your T2 stuff that you always have for Ariadna, heavy flamethrowers. So you got a little bit of everything that you would see here, even with a Cosmosoldat being a Russian name, heavy weapons, T2, heavy flamethrowers. It's got everything.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you look at this profile.
Look at it. Okay, so he is regular and he's hackable. This is our first hackable unit, guys, besides the tractor mules, but we don't count those.
Yeah. I will mention that these you see some of these numbers look a little off. That's because I had to go in and change the actual profile to what the correct one should have been. They had a bit of a mishap with the original release of this, but what you see here should be exactly what you see in Army coming next month.
All right, so 4-4 movement. This is all good. CC 16, not great, but it's not bad. BS 13, that's high for Ariadna. 14 Fizz, that's about standard. 13 Whip, standard. Arm 6. Arm 6. That's fantastic.
He's got some beef.
3 BTS, 1 wound, size 2. So arm 6 on a size 2 is great.
It's pretty solid.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. So yeah, courage, fire team duo, dodge on a -11, which
not negative
Fizz 11.
Yeah.
Not -11, Fizz 11, which makes sense. They don't want to make this thing too powerful. Makes sense. Shock immune and no wounding cap with terrain 0G. I'm liking that they really are making that a thing. If you're shock immune, you're getting no wounding cap.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we see that on all units that have similar combinations of skills, definitely.
The Cosmosoldat APHMG with a +1 burst. You have a Harris and a bottle. Yeah. That's what you have right there.
That's for sure.
The Harris and a bottle.
Yeah, he's going to be slinging 5 dice at long ranges with an armor-piercing weapon. It's a pretty big deal.
That's insane, and at only 45 points.
That's
cheaper than that's cheaper than the Ratnik from TAC.
Yep.
I guess. Yeah, that's cheaper by at least a fair number of points. Let's see if I'm Rat. Well, I can't find it all of a sudden. Anyway, but yeah, that's cheaper by a number of points. And at only 1.5 SWC, that's wonderful. The next one is your MSV1 portable autocannon. I love the portable autocannon.
It's definitely a scary weapon to go up against.
It is because the only other thing that the portable autocannons that I can think of is the Tank Hunter that's also in TAC, and the Kurgats from MAF, from Motorrad Aggression Force.
Yep, that's correct.
I think that's the only people that's got the portable autocannon.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a really powerful long range either arrow piece, or you could even use it in the active turn if you wanted to. MSV1 helps a lot, especially because MSV1 can now see through smoke at a -6.
And if it's at good ranges, you're really just getting into -3 before any negatives, so like mimetism and or not mimetism, but whatnot, cover and whatnot. And they also have a specialist operative, which I'm really excited about the specialist operative profile here, with a T2 rifle at +1 burst, a heavy flamethrower, and a Panzerfaust for 37 points. That's just one more point than you would do for the Blackjack in US Ariadna. That's one more point and no SWCs.
That's pretty sick. And that's 4 dice on a T2 rifle, potential of dealing 8 wounds in 1 burst. It's wild.
And you got heavy flamethrower for groups, or if they get in too close. And the Panzerfaust is a long range. Yes, it's limited. Like, you can only shoot so many shots from it, but you can hit from, except for the really long ranges, it can hit from all ranges.
Yeah, it's a really deadly arrow, or something that you can use if you have to cross a long range fire line.
I'm really excited about this, and having played with it a little bit on Tabletop Simulator, I reskinned a Vet Kazakh. It ended up playing pretty good. Having the 5 dice APHMG is wonderful.
Yeah,
it's just wonderful.
Like you said, it's a Harris and a single guy, so it's pretty great.
Yeah, Harris in a bottle. Oh, that's the Volkolak, or translated werewolf. They really got, like, I don't know where they didn't like correspond with any of the Russians or whatnot. They're like, yeah, that sounds Russian, and it's just basic stuff. Like, oh, space soldier. Oh, werewolf.
Yeah,
that's what we'll go with that.
This guy looks awesome, I think. I especially like this really cool pauldron on his shoulder. Like, I don't know what that's supposed to be, but it looks sick.
It really does, and I hope that the model, when they render it, actually has that.
Yeah, I think it will. It's going to be awesome. Looking at the dossier here, we've got a HMG, an AP close combat weapon, the Mark 12, missile launcher,
standard Wolver.
Yep, chain Colt and heavy pistol is solid.
Oh, see, this is so the Volkolak. He's wonderful. He really is. You have your basic HMG, which you don't really see a lot of. Having a basic HMG in Ariadna, that's weird to see. You always see the AP. It does make it cheaper. The MK Mark 12, fine. This basic Wolver things, but here at the troop, so he is regular. He's 4/4 movement, 22 CC, 12 ballistic skill. Not bad. It's basic Wolver stuff. 14 Fizz, 12 Whip, 4 armor. We get another pip of armor. So I like to compare these to the Wolvers. And so far, you're normal until you get to the Arm 4. And so you got a pip of armor, and you have 1 wound. Not 2 Wolver guys. It's only 1 wound. But they traded that 1 wound for this awesome special skills, which down here is total immunity.
And no wound incapacitation.
So, with super jump instead of climbing plus. They keep their natural born warrior. They keep their kinematica, which is your dodge plus 1 inch. And they got courage. So you're trading your 2nd wound for a no wound end cap and total immunity and
Mm-hmm.
super jump instead of climbing plus, which makes that missile launcher on a super jump wonderful.
Oh yeah, definitely watch out for that one.
The first profile, you have your HMG with chain colt. Chain colt's got a +1 burst, so he's basically got 2 chain colts and grenades for 1.5 SWC and 43 points.
Yeah.
43 point. The no wound in cap and the total immunity definitely brings it up a bit.
Yeah.
The points up a bit, but he's so worth it. It's so worth it. When we get to the fire teams, you're going to see why.
Oh yeah.
Second T2 rifle, +1 damage, so you're not shooting. The damage is no longer 13s, it's 14s.
Mm-hmm.
Chain Colt's still 1 burst, and you keep your grenades for 36 points.
That's
for 36 points. That's too easy. That's too easy. That's wonderful. That's a easy upgrade from your standard T2 Wolver, yep. T2 rifle Wolver. Your Mark 12 Wolver with chain colt and grenades, and then your missile launcher. I'm really excited about the missile launcher.
Yeah.
With the super jump, just being able to jump 8 inches, be like, I see you. I got total immunity. What are you going to do? You can shoot me with all the as many dice as you want to. On the active turn in a link team, I'm shooting 2 template weapons, 2 shots of a template weapon at you.
Mm-hmm. And you can only ever take 1 wound because of the total immunity. So yeah, it's definitely the super jump helps him get to those like high, hard to reach spots that you would want to be perched in order to see and rain down missiles from above. I definitely think that the HMG and the missile launcher are the 2 like standout profiles that are going to be really great once we talk about links. I will point out though that the Mark 12 is a damage 15 weapon that is 0 SWC, so that can definitely help crack some of these high armor units if you want an extra backup weapon.
No, definitely. You could definitely do that. But I would rather, I know the Mark 12's got better ranges. It just does. It's got better ranges than the T2 rifle.
Yeah.
But I like that T2 rifle. I like getting, because it's only good, it's +3 ranges from 8 to 16 inches. But it's done 14 damage, which
yeah, I mean,
on a regular rifle, and it's being anti-material. So you're making 2 saves off the T2 rifle at that close a range, which that's what the Volkolak and that's what the Wolvers wanted to do. They want to get close to you. They don't want to shoot that much. But now because you're able to link the Volkolak, it's much better. Yeah. And you can shoot.
And for any new viewers who aren't familiar with T2, T2 ammunition means that if you get hit, you fail an armor save, you don't take 1 wound, you take 2 wounds.
And it's glorious. T2 is only in Ariadna. All right, the Zenit 7. Zenit 7. I like the model. I think she looks cool. She's a light tank hunter.
Basically.
So all you pack players, she's a light tank hunter. So you got AP sniper rifle, a light shotgun, an AP marksman rifle, and pistols. So I like her. I do. This is where I have the problem, is when it comes to the profile. I don't like to be critical. I don't like to be critical, but I'm going to be critical because that's what I do. So you got your surprise attack. You got your BS +1 damage. That's a cool thing. Is the BS is always +1 damage. BS attack is shock, so marksmanship level 1. Camouflage and mimetism. So this surprise attack, camouflage and mimetism, that's just basically saying it's old school camouflage because skills aren't nested anymore.
Yep.
It tells you exactly what's going on. And decoy, that is your ambush camo, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. That is your ambush camo, which comes in lots of handy.
Yeah, it's definitely useful for confusing your opponent in your deployment and trying to convince them that there's something watching a fire lane that isn't actually there.
Now, when it comes to the loadouts, this is where I have the problem. The Zenit 7, you have an AP sniper rifle, which that's a pretty good gun.
Sure.
It's 1 SWC. That's fair. 28 points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that. My problem is if any of you that have watched, you can just go with the Cataran, and we'll get to the Cataran a little bit later because when we get to the whole army list. But the Cataran has a T2 sniper rifle, 1 SWC, and is 24 points. Now, he's 4 points less because he is irregular, but it's not that big a deal. He's only going to get, and yes, the Cataran only has limited camo from N3. We don't know if limited camo is going to be a thing in N4.
True.
So the Cataran, if the Cataran doesn't keep limited camo and gets regular camo, he's infinitely better right there.
He also might go up in cost, though, to put him more in line with this pricing. Could always happen.
Yeah, he might. Yep, it could. He could. So then I could see taking it for the sole fact of the ambush camo. You got another camo marker to throw down.
Yeah, I think they definitely have their uses. Until we know more, I do agree that the Cataran is probably a better choice, especially when you see later that you can take Wallace, who has William Wallace has inspiring leadership, which turns any irregular troops into regular. So,
among other things, but that's the big one.
Yeah.
An AP marksman rifle is the second profile at half an SWC, 27 points. It's okay. That's fine. It's not great. Decent. It's not great. It's decent. I like that. It's decent. Now this next one, this is the one that you're going to see most for anything, is Chain of Command with AP marksman rifle, half an SWC, and 32 points. This is going to be your give and take. Because, like Nathan said, you have Wallace in this sectorial army, which means he's most likely going to be the lieutenant, which means he's most likely he's going to have his inspiring leadership. And so what Caledonia players have been begging for is like, we want to go out and beat things with Wallace's explosive CCW weapon.
Yeah.
I want it. He's a warband that shouldn't be. That's a lieutenant, and he wants to go hit things, and he can't go hit things. Well, now with this sectorial, you can go hit the things, but you have to remember that instead of the 35 points for Wallace, if you don't want Wallace to sit in the back like he's always done, it's another 32 points. So that 32 turns into 67 points.
True.
Right there with the Chain of Command.
Chain of Command is a specialist, though, so that helps, swallow the cost of this. You can basically rely on the Chain of Command to keep your troops fighting throughout the game in case that Wallace goes down. And then maybe near the end of the game, you can move up using that AP marksman rifle to shoot forward, get to your objectives, push some buttons. I definitely think, I definitely agree that this is going to be the most popular out of all these loadouts.
Yeah, and the last one is a forward observer with an AP sniper rifle, light shotgun, flash pulse because he's a forward observer. 1 SWC and 33 points. Stay away from this like the plague. There are better FO options. We're going to get to them. Just pretend that last option doesn't exist. That's just me. I don't see it. He doesn't have any forward deployment and no infiltration. So he's just going to sit there in your back line, forward observer. That's what you want the Chain of Command to do. Yeah. You want him to be like, I don't want him to get close. It'd be great for defense missions, like looting and sabotaging, like protect and capture.
Yeah. I think like you said, this one is just not really, it's not a good combination of things, right? Forward observer wants to be up close, wants to push buttons, but the AP sniper rifle doesn't help. The light shotgun does help up close, but you have to get there first. Looking at all these weapons, it's just a bunch of burst 2 weapons, the sniper rifle, the light shotgun. So you're sitting there like, how are you going to get up close without taking some risks? And I mean, if you want an AP sniper rifle, you're going to take the first profile for 28 points instead of 33.
Yeah, and even then, like we said before, you would just take the Cataran.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see how this sort of fits in with the new N4 skills. Maybe Forward Observer and Flash Pulse get some sort of like crazy thing that makes this an amazing synergy or something. But as far as we're concerned, this one might not be the move.
No, but Chain of Command isn't wonderful. Oh, yes. ODST inbound. These are your new para commandos.
They look great.
And I'm in love. I'm in love. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
They've got some really cool helmets on these guys.
I'm telling you, they look like they got inspiration from this from Halo. ODST. That's where they got this from. That's what they look like to me. For people that don't know Halo jumpers, Halo stands for high altitude, low opening. And that's what they look like. If you actually like go on Google and look up what Halo jumpers look like, that's what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a far cry from your old sculpt of paracommandos with just their helmet. They got on, sleeveless vest and an HMG. They're like, rah! No, these are much cooler. Now, dossiers can be wrong. They don't show all the loadouts, but just looking off what we know, we're keeping the rifle. We're getting a new weapon in a chain cult. We're getting a new weapon in the SMG. You're losing your sniper rifle option and your HMG option for your paracommandos and Murph in your Merovingia. But that boarding shotgun...
Yeah, it's a totally new design, it looks like.
That's T2. I'm going to say it. I'm calling it now. You guys in the comments, you can tell me if I'm right or I'm wrong. That's a T2 boarding shotgun, and a T2 boarding shotgun on a paracommando, even if he only keeps parachutist, I don't think he will. I think he'll get some sort of combat jump, which I thought would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But with a T2 boarding shotgun, oh, that's so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
If that is a T2 boarding shotgun, it's going to be pretty scary to see one of these guys drop on your doorstep.
It's going to be scary for you. I'm going to laugh.
Now,
yes, you brought this up.
Yeah, I was looking at this, and I noticed this strange device attached to his chest. And, I was like, man, I think I've seen that before. And I pulled up this picture here of the Locust from Pan-Oceania, my faction. The Locust has a similar device on his chest, and we know from past conversations that this is the ODD device that gives the Locust his ODD, at least as far as I know. So we don't know for sure, of course. No. It's all wild speculation, but I think it could happen, maybe, that this guy gets ODD or mimetism -6.
That'd be great with having the ODD, because they already had... Paracommandos already have mimetism.
Yeah.
So to give them an additional -3 on the shot, to be shot at and take that damage, that would be insane.
It would be pretty wild.
Insane. Especially with that T2 boarding shotgun. I've got a T2 boarding shotgun. I'm dropping on your side of the board, and I'm just going to start taking out your back line.
Yep. I've got a +6. You've got a -6. Now,
I didn't. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And their BS is already, for paracommandos, is already 12,
which is solid.
Which is solid. And I think their cost points are going to go up. So your basic is not going to be 20. Your basic paracommando is not going to be 20 points anymore. He'll probably be 22 points, which means your FO option is going to be 23 points, which for ODD, I'm not mad about.
If it does get ODD, they would definitely go up in cost, but it could be definitely worth it.
I think it's worth it just to get the model. If you don't want anything else, if you just like when the model finally comes out and we finally do see the actual profile, if you're like, no, it's not as good as it used to be, just get it for the model because that looks amazing.
Yeah, these guys, I think, regardless, are going to be staples of this army. They're going to be great.
The SAS, who dares wins. You got to have some form of infiltrator, and they were in need of a resculpt. They're not getting a whole bunch of differences because they basically look the exact same as they always have. They're just going to get resculpts because the SAS models are tiny. They are old, little. Yeah. They're old. They're little. They're still pretty. Well, that one with the assault pistol is pretty dynamic still, but they need new resculpts. And so I was excited to see that the SAS were getting some love.
I definitely agree. These guys they look just like G.I. Joes to me.
Yes, from Team Cobra. You're getting your regular rifle, you're getting your chain rifle, you're getting your boarding shotgun, you're getting your light shotgun, you got grenades, you got a CCW, which if everything still stays the same, is going to be an armor-piercing CCW, and your pistols with your knife. Dossiers could not show all the weapon loadout, but they put a lot of weapons on here, and there's no sniper option. Like in the old SAS, which I'm not upset about. I never used the sniper option. I always tried to use the FO options because you need 2 midfield specialists.
Yep. Next, we've got the Polaris team, the Bear Pod.
I'm screaming on the inside. I'm screaming on the inside. I'm so happy. I'm sticking true with my original take on this. That is your tag. That is the Ariadna tag. It's not mechanical. It's a bear. It's a bear with a trench hammer. It's going to have tactical awareness because it's got 2 people. It's your little female there. She's your specialist operative that you're going to see for all the manned tags. Are usually the pilot is a specialist operative. And they're going to have TAC awareness because for all of these small tags, they have TAC awareness, but they're using it mechanically. We don't have that. Ariadna doesn't have that, so they're going to have an extra pair of eyes. I think that's what's going to happen, and I'm sticking to it.
Hey, it's a tag. I'm all here for it. Ariadna needs a tag, and tag only stands for tactical armored gear, and I mean, nothing about that says that it has to be a robot. So, I think it could happen.
I think he's going to end up being like, he's going to be 4/4 movement. His CC is going to be like 22, BS 10, because that's what all the dog warriors, antipodes, stuff like that is really low. We'll make it 10, but that fizz is going to be out of this world. It's going to be like 18. It's a bear.
That would be pretty crazy, especially considering the smoke grenades and the regular grenades.
Yeah, the smoke grenades. Okay, I see. Okay, yeah, because you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna mess with this grenade. But he has no long range weapons.
Exactly.
Period.
That's his delivery system to get up close and whack you with the trench hammer.
If he needs to go farther, he can go out to 8 inches to hit you with grenades and smoke grenades. And the chain rifles, yes, he's got 2 chain rifles which go out to 10 inches. But I think he's going to be a tag. He's going to have 18 fizz. His whip's going to be, normal, probably 12 to 13. No BTS, but he's going to have armor 6. He's going to have armor 6.
Yeah,
he's just going to move up the field.
This guy definitely looks like he's got some armored plates strapped to him, so I definitely think he's going to have some pretty high armor.
So what do you think happened here? So do you think that Bakunin got with Ariadna and be like, let's do some things here? Because I've not heard of the cuckoo virus, which is, for my newer players in the lore, if a pregnant woman is bit by an antipode, the baby is born as a dog face.
Yeah.
We don't have that. I've not heard of the cuckoo virus being in a bear and this happening.
Yeah, I mean, we will have to wait until N4 to get the official lore, but it could be that maybe there's some weird nomad modification going on, or it could be something similar. I think we do know that on Dawn there are some bear-like creatures out there. Maybe there's something similar to the antipode disease.
Yeah, the Krekuvek.
But like we said, we're all speculating here. We've got no idea, but all we know is it's a big old bear with a big old trench hammer, and he's coming to wreck your face.
Yes, which is going to be great. Because the Yodam has the highest armor in the game, correct?
Yeah, he's got arm 10.
Arm 10. Okay, with an APCCW, he's getting that close to you. That gets knocked down to 5. If he's just got to get there.
He's got a chance if he gets close, yeah.
And with a Fizz 18, now you're rolling, so 18, now you have 5 armor. So you got to roll 14, above a 14. That's what you got to roll.
Yeah.
To not take a wound for the Yodam.
Yeah. If it does have something crazy like Fizz 18, then he's going to be really hard to armor save against.
He's got to get there, though. I think they might take away the total immunity because antipodes don't have total immunity. Dog warriors have total immunity.
That's a good
point. So he may not have the total immunity. He may keep his... I'm sure he'll have at least 2 wounds because he's a bear.
Yes. Yeah.
So he'll keep the 2 wounds.
Maybe no wound in cap.
Yeah, probably no wound in. Yeah, 2 wounds with no wound in cap. Cause I think he'll lose the total immunity. I mean, I would love if he did have total immunity, but I think that'd be too much. What are you gonna do to bring this thing down?
Yeah, he'd be very expensive if he did have total immunity with all that stuff too. But we'll have to see. I mean, this guy we're all hoping is going to be the one that leads the charge across the battlefield.
Along with Wallace, now that you have chain of command.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, so the counterpart of the bear pod is, there's not an actual term for it, it's just Polaris team. But she looks a lot like the Antipode handler from the Antipode Assault Pack in TAC.
Yeah,
because she's got the same screen.
Yeah.
I still think that she's going to be the specialist operative for the tag. She's going to go out and do things, and then the bear pode's just going to, go wreck face as much as he can.
Yeah, I think she's definitely going to have a more support role if it means that you have to take her in order to take the bear pod, or if she's just sort of like a included thing, or maybe even G-synchronized. We don't know.
I'd be awesome if she could ride the bear.
That would be pretty crazy.
All right, here is the entire sectorial for Cosmoflot. You have your rockets, which we have not seen yet, which is your basic infantry. And all I've got is rockets, which translates to roar in Russian. But I got 2 crescent wrenches and a missile on the emblem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it's just going to be a line Kazakh and change out the multi-terrain to 0G. I think the points will stay the same. I think everything's the same, and they'll probably change out the FO option for the line Kazakhs and put in an engineer option for the rockets. Why would they have the crescent wrenches without it?
Yeah, I think it could be something very similar. We definitely want the rockets to be cheap because They're going to be the things that really boost your things, like the Volcalox, and they're going to be the things. They're going to be the link that you want to wildcard other things into.
Yeah, me and you have played a couple of times just with as much as we know right now on TTS, just playing exactly with what we have, and you have to bring the rockets. Everything else it's a little expensive. It is a little expensive, especially with if you look at the availability of things, like your other cheap things in here that aren't rockets are your Ermendinos. They're only 8 points, but you can only bring 2 of them. And your Pharyngian Guard, the base guy, is 12 points. But that's a far cry from Galwegians. That's double Galwegians.
Yeah. Pharyngian Guard are great, though. They bring a lot to the table.
No, I totally agree with you, and I can't wait to see the model. Can't wait to see the model. But rockets need to be cheap. They're going to need to be 10 points or cheaper, and I'm hoping that they're line Kazakhs with just 0G, and they keep all the weapon loadouts, because line Kazakhs are nothing to sneeze at. They got Whip 13, they got BS 11, which is, besides US Ariadna Grunts, is the highest basic BS for basic line units in Ariadna, but Grunts are medium infantry.
Yeah.
Paracommandos, you got 3 Highlander Catarans. This is what we were talking about before, your Catarans. Yes, you can only bring 1 of them, but he is so good at what he does with his camouflage. He has limited camouflage, actually, which we don't know if they're going to change that or not.
Yeah, that's true. This is the guy that sits back in your deployment zone and just shoots an ARO with a really dangerous T2 sniper rifle.
Yeah, he can't link, but he can move around the board because Highlander Catarans also have climbing plus, so they can get to a better position.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Frontovics are amazing. They can form a corps, a Harris, and they have a special fire team. You can only bring 4 of them, so you can't go full ham, which is a theme you're going to see a little bit as we keep going through here. You can't just make a corps of Frontovics. You got to add something to it. They want you to add a wild card to it. And so to bring up the points somehow, because you can make Frontovics a core of Frontovics pretty cheaply. And with all that T2 ammo they have and mimetism, that's a dangerous core, but you got to have something else in there.
Yeah, but this sectorial definitely has some good wild cards that are justified for putting into that link to make it a core.
Now you have your Zenith 7 attachment. You can only bring 2. Scots Guards. Oh, my Caledonian players, I want you to look at this right here, right now. They have a Harris option. I'm crying.
It's been a long time coming.
A long time coming, because now you can do the things. You can do all the things that you couldn't do, because Scots Guards on their own for the 2nd Battalion Scots Guards are camouflage. You can't link those. But 1st Battalion Scots Guards are just a waste of points. You can only duo these guys. You can only duo these guys in Caledonia. And so, okay, I'm going to bring a missile launcher and a 19-point FO. Okay, but what are you doing? I'm still only getting 1 shot from the missile launcher. They don't have any other special skill, no climbing plus, no visor. They were medium infantry, so they did have 3 armor, and they got from N3, all medium infantry have forward deployment level 1. But that's going away. So because isn't it confirmed all medium infantry are getting 4-4?
Yes, that much is confirmed. That 4-4 movement for all.
So we don't know yet if they're going to have any form of forward deployment. I hope they do, but they may not. And even if they don't, being able to form a Harris and being able to get 2 shots off with that missile launcher or 5 shots off with the Molotov is really exciting. You can still duo these guys if you want to, but spend the extra 19 points and go for the Harris. Come on.
Definitely.
Come on. Volkolak cannot form any team of their own. They're more of the plug-and-play guys, just only special fire teams. And you can bring 3 of them. So you can bring 1 in the core. It's expensive, but you can bring 1 in a core, 1 in a Harris, and then teamed up with our next unit, the Kosmoflot. So I can bring all 3
in all 3 links.
Total immunity. Total. I've got a total immunity in every link, and I think I did that. I've made a limited insertion list. I've not played it yet, and with you, Nathan, but I think I made one where I had a Volkolak in. That's all I got. I got 10 orders. That's all I got. I have no midfield specialists at all. I've got. I just wanted to see if I could do it.
You can. It's confirmed.
The Cosmos Soldats can only duo. That's fine. You can only get 2 of them. You don't want any more than 2 because they are pretty expensive. They're good, but they are expensive. 3 first Highlander SAS.
Those are your specialists.
Good. Specialists, Ermendinos. Oh, the Ermendino. Why can I only bring 2 of you? I want more. I need more from you. Ermendinos are fantastic at only 8 points. They already have Engineer, Booty level 1, and Scavenger. They're regular and impetuous. Not extremely impetuous anymore. You can ignore the impetuous, but I never do because smoke. I want all the smoke before I spend any orders.
Yeah, these guys are a lot of fun just because that booty skill allows you to roll a dice and grab some sort of random weapon or equipment at the start of the game. I just think that whole randomizing aspect is a lot of fun to play.
And I have very good. I have always had very good luck with my very cheap warbands, and I think it was not this time we played, Nathan, but the last time Ermendino got, and we rolled, and he got an EM grenade, and I swear I heard your butt go. No, that can't happen. He's got to die.
Yeah, I was like, no thanks. That guy cannot be in the game anymore, please. No way.
Varangian Guard, really excited. Core, Harris, and Duo. Again. You only bring 4 of them. You can't bring a whole core of Varangian Guard. You gotta bring a wild card to go with it, which I'm a little upset about. I wanted to put, if I wanted to put all my points somewhere, maybe I just want an order battery. If I just wanted all Varangian Guard and they're just gonna go wreck face somewhere.
Sure.
I don't care about them as much. I want my Harris because they're more maneuverable because I have less things to get shot at. Or a Duo, less things to get shot at. They're more maneuverable than a core. A 5 is a lot. 5 guys is a lot to move.
And it's worth pointing out that the Varangian only have 10 ballistic skill. So these guys are not really things that you would want to be engaging with at long ranges. They're going to be really relying on the smoke to get them up close so that they can run at you and berserk you down.
Yeah, and they are regular, which I like that they're regular. I like that they have the SMG, so if they do get into a closer than you want to firefight, okay, I'm not just shooting a chain rifle at you. I've got some 3 shots so I can try to beat you out and not take it because they still are only 1 wound.
Yeah. They do have dogged.
And they do have dogged, but I like the option of having the SMG, but realistically, you're never going to use it. You're going to use that chain rifle every time.
I will say, from my experience, these guys were originally debuted in 012 for Infinity, and I've used them very effectively there, and they don't get any link options. So you can absolutely justify taking these guys on their own, and nobody ever expects you to put that Varangian Guard into suppressive fire. You're only shooting on 10s, but it doesn't matter. You're crit fishing at that point.
That I didn't think of that. No, that's actually a really okay. Okay, fine, Nathan. You got me. You got me. I didn't think about it. I'm going to put them in suppressive fire. I didn't think of that. It was like, oh,
it's pretty
all
solid.
right.
It can keep them alive, and if you get to a point where you are like, all right, well, I literally cannot hit with suppressive fire, that's when you can break suppressive, throw some smoke, and try to live.
Yeah, this is true. But, suppressive fire, yeah, you're crit fishing with the SMGs. I don't know.
When I was in 012, basically, I usually take 2 of these guys on their own. They throw some smoke, but you can take up to 4 in 012. And so you can move these guys up with their impetuous, then coordinate them up, and then coordinate them into suppression. And they can be a real pain to remove if you get them around some key corners. Because that way they have to engage you in close range. If you really want to make the sacrifice, you can just lay down that chain rifle, or you can use the suppressive fire to really the suppressive fire scares people because they're worried about getting crit. So normally when you're going up against someone, it's going to be my 3 dice versus your 1. But when you say it's my 3 dice versus their 3 dice, that's pretty scary to some people.
Yeah, and being able to do that on a cheap warband, give the base model is only 12 points.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that, but the thing with their suppressive fire is they're getting the +3, the -3 to your, giving the -3 to your opponent for shooting at them, but they're not gaining the +3 because they are impetuous.
Yep.
So they can't gain any cover whatsoever.
Exactly. That's their only sort of defensive mod is when you put them in suppressive fire.
Mm-hmm. Then you have Team Polaris. I'm excited for Team Polaris. Why did they split them up like this?
It's a good question. They could be 2 separate units. They could be 2 versions of one unit. We'll really never know until N4 releases.
Yeah, until it comes out. Because if you think, like, if take all the things that we know about Team Polaris and compare them to the things that are closest to them, which is the Strelok Canine, and the Antipode Assault Pack. It's got you got 2 guys, but they're never split. They're not split like that.
Yeah, this is definitely new. It could be like we say, it could just be them splitting it up because they wanted to show that they're 2 units. But this is definitely like a new setup. If these are a G-Sync unit, or if they are something like the Antipode control device and Antipodes, this is definitely surprising that they're split up like this.
Hey, you could just bring, I think you had mentioned, they could just bring the Bearpode.
Maybe.
They got Wallace.
Yeah, it could be a situation where the Team Polaris is the one where you can bring it and the guy is regular because he's got like the girl who's directing him around, telling him what to do. Or maybe the Polaris Bearpode just lets you bring him on his own. He's irregular, probably impetuous, and he just sort of runs amok without anyone telling him what to do.
Which is objectively hilarious.
I agree. Just a bear.
I mean, what would you do? You got little Fusiliers just shooting away, and then they see a bear with a hammer.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
All right, so your specialist guys over on the other side. You got your Kazakh doctor. I'm happy we have another doctor. Don't get me wrong. Their next profile is your 112 emergency service. You got Dr. Fire Axe, but I'm glad that we finally got another doctor that you can do things with. He's got a much better weapon from the Kazakh doctor having a rifle versus the 112 only having a light shotgun.
And the Kazakh Doctor can join fire teams here, whereas the 112 has to sort of sit on his own.
The Kazakh Doctor has found his place in the world because he
Yes.
can't link. He can't link in TAC.
His own sectorial.
112. Yeah, the 112 can link with the Frontovix.
Yeah.
That Kazakh Doc can't, which I thought was weird. So I'm very happy that the Kazakh Doctor has found his place in the world.
Definitely.
Your dozer, your basic field engineers, your tractor mules. I'm going to stop everybody right here, and I want to tell you how much I want these tractor mules to be fixed. I want them to work. I was in the Army at one point. I was a forward observer. I want these artillery pieces to actually work like artillery pieces, and they're don't right now.
Yeah. I mean, we know that Targeted is getting a buff at least. I think what you're really hoping for is that they get some more long range bands.
Because they're only good from 8 to 16 inches, and that's why would you want these? Because if you look at the models, they look like MRL. They look like missile launcher on tracks. That's what they look like, and they don't operate like that.
Yeah, it is.
They don't have that. So with the targeting state not leaving at the end of the turn, it stays there until the opponent resets.
Mm-hmm.
That's money, because now they're wasting an order so they can move, and then they have to reset that guy, or I'm going to be dropping AP shock rounds from the Uragan tractor mule or double action from the Katusha.
Yeah.
And I can do that all day.
Yeah, and that reset is not a guarantee either. I mean, if you've targeted some poor Fusilier, he's going to be trying to reset that on a 12.
Bless his heart. The war drivers, so you got your hacker, which I'm going to stop at the war driver. I'm going to stop us again. We now have a hacking unit and a hackable unit in the Cosmos Soldat.
Yes.
That's the only hacker that we have. There's nothing to protect that thing except the war driver.
Yeah, and the war driver in general has been pretty maligned in the realm of Infinity just because, she pays a lot for just some basic hacking. Like any other sectorial, any other army pays 0.5 SWC for a regular hacking device. War driver pays one whole SWC for some reason. It's very strange.
Yep.
We can only hope that these guys get
for a defensive hacking device.
Yeah. We can only hope that these guys get some sort of buff in the future.
Well, you said if he does get the hacking device, and from our last video, assault hacking programs were being used on a regular hacking device. So if they do get assault hacking programs on the war driver, then the war driver is all of a sudden, I could take this. I can now fix my dozers a little bit. I can actually protect a little bit my Cosmos Soldat.
Yeah. The only caveat there is that, unlike other factions, Kosmoflot does not have any sort of repeaters or deployable repeaters as far as we can tell. So you're going to struggle with your reach with that hacker rather than something like Nomads, who's got repeaters everywhere.
And pitchers where they can just shoot it out. War core, always bring a war core. If you've got 3 points left over, don't try to make something better. Bring the war core. Orders are currency, and with our next guy, William Wallace, old Bill himself, he's regular.
He's great.
He becomes regular. William Wallace in this sectorial, with the number of irregular orders that I see just from the list, William Wallace is almost guaranteed to be your LT, and he wants to go around and he wants to hit things with his explosive CCW because that's what he's always wanted to do, and he can't do in Caledonia because there's no chain of command. You now have the chain of command, ladies and gentlemen. William Wallace can form a Harris with the Varangian Guard and just go ham.
Yep.
Let him run crazy.
Then we've got the Unknown Ranger.
I'm disappointed here, Nathan. I am. The Unknown Ranger is too expensive for what he does.
Yeah.
He's not good. He's got 4 armor. Yes, that's another chain of command option. And yes, he's a specialist operative. He's got a Molotov. He's got BS-13, but it's all of these things that are, why am I going to spend 45 points on you on a 1 wound model that doesn't have shock immunity?
Another thing that we really want to see buffed in N4, that's for sure. This guy could be great if he had some sort of immunity and to allow him to use that no wounding cap. But really, some of the things that are really contributing to his cost is that scavenger skill, which he wouldn't normally use very often. Yeah.
The scavenger is not very used. You could use the scavenger with the Ermendinos. Ermendinos have scavenger, and they only have a chain rifle. So if you get something, if they don't get a weapon from their booty level 1 when you put them on the table, if they don't get something that can go into suppressive fire, you're not going to use it because his basic loadout for his chain of command comes with a regular rifle.
Yeah.
And you're going to sit him in the back, and you're not going to do anything with him. And why am I going to sit an Unknown Ranger, a named character, in the back for 41 points and not do anything with him?
Yeah. I think this guy is definitely on track to hopefully get a revamp in N4.
Major revamp. Somebody that doesn't need a revamp is this next lady. Usha McNeil is perfect in all ways, shapes, and forms, and I love her.
She's awesome.
And I'm so happy she's back. She's still keeping, as far as we know, she's still keeping her 27-point superior infiltration with 2 assault pistols, specialist operative, and her 28-point MSV1 with boarding shotgun.
Which is on its own smoke trick now, because she's got the smoke and she's got the MSV1. So if she really needs to deal out some damage and doesn't want to get hit, she can take that boarding shotgun, get within 8 inches, have the smoke there. Your +6 range from the boarding shotgun is counteracting the -6 from shooting through smoke. So
you're shooting on 11s, but wait, there's more, because shotguns changed.
That's
you could
true.
just use them as a template.
You could just
I don't have to shoot on my 11s.
And then your opponent, if they don't have any MSV shooting back at you, they're going to be -6 for the shooting through smoke. Then they're going to be -3 for cover, maybe. They're going to be -3 for your camouflage, mimetism. And if you set it up properly, you could even do -3 from surprise shot as well. So it could be an unwinnable situation there.
And Uxia win because who dares wins.
Exactly.
As their motto says,
that is
who
true.
dares wins. Next one, I'm very happy that Pavel made it in here. Pavel is a long-range Usha. He really is. He really is. He's because he's got camouflage. He's got forward deployment level 2. He's got assault. He's got natural born warrior. He's a specialist operative with an Ajotnik, a chain cult, and anti-personnel mines, and a T2 close combat weapon.
Yeah.
Pavel is wonderful.
He's pretty scary if you let him assault you. Moving, I think it's 8 inches, correct? He's 4'4"?
Yes, 8 inches. He is 4'4". And he's got Fury, which is bringing his cost down.
It's true.
So if he was to get jammered, this is what I love about Ariadna, because I hear people all the time, oh, they jammered me. Oh, they jammered me. We have so many things that have Fury. All you got to do is make sure you kill something first. And I've got 2 orders on that guy.
Yeah, because they become impetuous after they kill someone.
Yeah. I'm super excited. I love that Pavel's here. Pavel and Usha make a wonderful, like, if you have just points left over and you don't want to, like, the SAS FOs aren't, I don't need FOs. I need something else in there. Take Usha, take Pavel. You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You're going to be fine. That's a dangerous midfield combo, and they're specialist operatives. So you still keep your two guys midfield specialists that are way more scary than almost any other midfield specialist that any other sectorial could bring.
Definitely.
And our boy from Defiance, Caden First Strike Dawn.
This guy's great.
I love Caden.
Yeah, Caden honestly is one of the better characters from Defiance that we got. Caden is dual wielding some close combat weapons, and he's a Wolver with 2 wounds.
He gets to keep his 2 wounds, unlike those fake Volkalak shock troopers. I'm keeping my whole 2 wounds. But yes, AP CCW and a T2 CCW. So
yeah. Dual wielding, that is scary.
And unlike the regular Wolvers, he's got Kinematica level 2, which is now dodge 2 inches instead of the 1 extra inch.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets to keep his climbing plus, which in certain situations, climbing plus is going to be better than super jump, depending on what you're getting into.
For sure. This guy can climb up at that sniper tower and basically eat the person inside.
Yeah, with a T2 rifle, he's got grenades, he's got heavy pistols, and he's dual wielding all that stuff. And he's also has Fury, which is keeping his costs down, which I hope Fury doesn't go away, because that's what's keeping the points cost down for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, I do think that Frenzy might be leaving, but we don't have any absolute confirmation yet. It could just turn into Impetuous. We don't know.
I'll be fine with that, but the Frenzy is I need it in my life. That's what's keeping the points down, and now we may not have that.
We don't know for sure. We'll have to see. But the next group, yeah.
Yes. Aquibi Mirage 5. Welcome back, Lieutenant. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Duroc and Margot needed resculpts so bad.
Yeah, definitely. The old ones were definitely showing their age, and this is the perfect opportunity to come back and revamp that old unit into the new N4 standard.
Which is going to be great, because old Margot and Duroc were 71 points and 2 SWC combined. I don't know why they were 2 SWC, and I've been trying to figure it out, because Margot is just a moblot. That's all she is. So that's half an SWC for like the light grenade launcher that she has attached to her AP rifle.
Well, she is BS-14 though.
Okay, she's BS-14. Yeah, she's the best shot in the entire Ariadna faction, just going off BS skills. Yes, she's BS-14. Mm-hmm. So, okay, so there's one. I got you. But Duroc is pretty much just McMurrah without the Templar close combat weapon.
Yeah. He's a dangerous close range combatant that can AD drop right in front of your... he can walk in on the side of the board, basically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's got airborne infiltration, but there's a lot of things that have airborne infiltration that cost no SWC. Yeah. Like, look at Hell. And they got better weapons too.
I think
they don't have total immunity.
Yeah, I mean, that total immunity is a big deal. And I think the main thing is we know for a fact that SWC scales with ballistic skill of their the people using it, right? So something like a heavy infantry with BS-14 is normally going to pay 2 SWC for a HMG on, say, like a Hospitaller Knight. But If you take the same weapon, the HMG, and put it on a Fusilier, it's only going to be 1 SWC. So I think because Margot is BS-14, she's paying a bit more for the things that she has in terms of special weapons cost.
I don't know if she's so expensive as well, because if you go to Merovingia, you click on equipping Mirage 5, just her, she's 37 points. Yeah. Why is she 37 points for an AP? Yes, she can airborne infiltration, but that's really it aside from BS-14.
Yep.
How's that any other different from a regular Moblot?
I mean, like I said, it's the BS-14 that's really setting her apart in terms of cost.
I suppose so. And then Sergeant Lafayette Duroc. I'm super excited about him because, yes, while he's impetuous, he's just regular impetuous. I don't have to drop him first turn anymore.
Yeah, if what we think is happening, that all extreme impetuous is going to be turned into impetuous, then yeah, you get the option of being a lot less predictable with this unit.
I'm really excited that I'm I'm going to wait until turn 2 for you to get in a better position. I'm going to drop Duroc, and he's just going to come up there and beat you to death with his sword.
Yeah, he's definitely, if you can wait to drop him until your opponent's forces are already weakened, he's going to just go crazy.
I can't wait. I can't wait till like all the point stuff's drop. I want Team Polaris and Mirage 5. I'm going to run a limited assertion list with just those guys.
It's going to be a battle to see who can kill the most.
Yeah. All right, special fire teams, your Rockets special fire team. Kazakh Doctors can be a part of any fire team of Rockets. So there you see, Kazakh Doctors found his spot with the Rockets. He found his place in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Volkolak Shock Troopers, wild card, part of any fire team in the Sectorial Army. So you can plug and play here with the Volkolak. And we saw all their options. They have lots of good weapon loadouts. They don't have a specialist profile, but you don't need them to be. Now they can join the Rocket Corps. Mm-hmm. And now you have a big total immunity HMG weapon that's with super jump. Yeah. Come on. Or if you go right there across, William Wallace can be a part of any fire team of Varangian Guard. You wanted to go beat stuff up with Wallace, take your Varangian Guard Harris option with William Wallace and the Volkolak Shock Trooper. Mm-hmm. Now the Harris has a gun. It's not just CC. The Harris now has a gun that can be super scary. That's when you would want to bring that missile launcher.
Yeah, or the HMG, because you can fight your way forward with the Volkolak and then get into close combat with the other guys.
Definitely. I'm so happy Wallace gets to run around and beat things up. I needed it. Frontovix, separate assault battalion. Frontovix can be part of any fire team of Cosmos Soldats. It's not the other way around, guys. Cosmos Soldats can only duo, if you will remember. Mm-hmm. So Frontovix can join your Cosmos Soldat. Now, what's fun about that right there is the Frontovix have 2 engineer options that can team up with your Cosmos Soldat, who is hackable. Remember, this is our hackable HI.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean for hackers there, Nathan? What does that mean?
Well, if your Cosmos Soldat gets hacked, the Frontovnik can't stop that from happening, but he sure can fix them back up once it's happened.
Which I think is a perfect match, and I think they had to have thought of that when they were making the fire teams.
I agree.
I'm super stoked about it because let's say you take the AP HMG that's got +1 burst. Remember, your Harris in a bottle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got your Harris in a bottle, Cosmos Soldat. Then you take you got 2 options for engineer. You got your regular T2 rifle with your D charges, and Frontovix comes standard with assault pistols.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and that's 27 27 points. Or you could upgrade him to 33 points and 0.5 SWC, so he keeps his T2 rifle and a light rocket launcher.
Ah, okay.
So now I'm bringing fire into this mix along with my 5 burst APHMG. And it's 2 guys.
Yeah. And the nice thing is that, both of these options here as engineers, when you bring an engineer, it's a specialist, right? So you can fight forward with your Cosmosoldat and move towards those objectives to complete the mission, basically.
Yeah, that's a perfect match, and so excited to when everything comes out. I want to put these on the table so bad, and all this means is I've got to buy more models. That's what you're doing to me, CB. You're just making me buy more. I was almost done. All I had to do was paint things. No, here's Cosmoflot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got Caden First Strike Dawn. Also a wild card, can join any part of any fire team in this sectorial army, which is going to give you a wonderful, at only 35 points, a really good CC guy to put into your core, to put into your Harris, because now you can put Caden in there. So let's take the Scots Guards, for instance. Scots Guards aren't good at close combat. Yep. They've got the weapons, they've got the specialist, but they don't have anything that can hit that good, like somebody gets close to them, especially with stuff like bandits, speculo killers. What are you going to do with that? You got Caden. That's what he's there for, to join into that Harris and say, no, you ain't going to do that.
Yeah, we've got the CC specialist here, basically.
I think this is really good. I like everything so far. It's a lot more expensive than the other sectorials in Ariadna, and the lack of options.
And I think that does sort of show us the way that armies are headed for N4 with that 15 unit limit. I think it makes sense to introduce some more expensive options into Ariadna.
No, I agree with you. And so for my Ariadna players, when you're thinking about this, don't think of this as 10 and 5. That's for everybody else. Everybody else, except for like Hawk Islam, is used to playing with 15 orders or less. You're not used to that. So don't think of it as 10 and 5 for your order pools. Do 8 and 7. Split it up as much as possible, so that way you can put your core of rockets and a Volkalac into your 8 pool, and then put your Harris or your Cosmosoldat with the engineer into group 2. Make them decide who they want to fight. Do you want to fight the core, or do you want to fight the Harris?
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference when you've got a bunch of orders for both of those teams to move forward.
That's what's helped me a lot, because like you guys, I was initially pretty salty about 15 orders, but I'm coming around to it. The 8 and 7 for the order pools helped out a lot, and it makes me rethink what I want to do with Kosmoflot and for all of my sectorial armies in Ariadna.
Yeah, definitely some good insight there.
But thank you guys for watching. This was Kosmoflot for Ariadna. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe. It would help us out a ton. Next week, we're going to be throwing out another video for White Company. So we definitely want y'all to show up. Stay tuned. We can't wait to give you all the info that we can, and we'll be giving you all the info as soon as it comes out.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
See ya.